That first hour, it's more than just time. It's the foundation of success. So if you waste your first hour, you'll waste your life. And guess what? You'll regret it forever. Think about that. You see, how you start your day matters. It's not just about waking up. It's about waking up with purpose. Most people, they wake up, grab their phones, scroll through noise, react to the world before they've even said good morning to themselves. And then they wonder why they feel behind, why their energy is low, why their days feel scattered, why nothing seems to work. Let me give you something to think about. If you don't run your day will run you. And it starts with the first hour. Not your boss, not your phone, not the notifications, not the noise of the world. You must own that hour. Give it to yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will. You say you want to grow? You say you want to change? You say you want success, confidence, freedom? Start there. Not in the afternoon when you're tired. Not at night when distractions have already won. In the morning, in that first sacred hour. That first hour is your seed. Water it with good thoughts. Nourish it with good habits. And it will grow into the life you're asking for. And here's what I've learned over the years. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and accomplishment. And the first place to build discipline is that first hour of your day. No more excuses. No more delays. No more letting the world tell you what to do with your life. Before anything else, give your first hour to you. I'm going to show you how. Let me ask you something. How do you begin your day? Not what time you wake up, but how you wake up. Do you begin with purpose, with clarity, with discipline? Or do you begin in chaos, reacting to everything around you instead of creating what's inside you? Because let me tell you, how you start your day determines how you live your life. That first hour, that's not just a clock ticking. That is your hour of power. It's not the emails. It's not the text messages. It's not the meetings, the tasks, the pressure. It's you, just you, in that quiet moment before the world starts knocking. See, I've met people who say, Jim, I feel overwhelmed. I don't have time to focus, to grow, to reflect. I ask them, what do you do in your first hour? They say, oh, I check my phone, read the news, get ready, rush to work. There's your answer. You gave the most valuable hour of your day to the world. And the world, it doesn't care about your growth. The world wants your attention. It wants your urgency. It wants your reaction. But you have to want more than that. You've got to choose more than that. That first hour, if used wisely, becomes your foundation. It becomes your time to build a calm mind, a focused direction, a resilient attitude, a plan, and a purpose. Let me tell you what I call it, the setup. Every day must have a setup before the show. Imagine this. A performer doesn't just walk on stage and start the act. No, the stage is set. The lights are checked. The sound is tuned. Everything is aligned before the curtain rises. Why? Because preparation is what creates performance. And so it is with life. Your performance in the day, the way you handle people, your goals, your obstacles, it all depends on how well you prepared yourself before the day began. That's why this hour of power, it's not optional. It's essential. Now, you might say, Jim, I've got kids. I've got responsibilities. I don't have an hour. Then give yourself 30 minutes or 15, but give yourself something. Even 10 minutes of intention is more powerful than 2 hours of reaction. Because the truth is, if you don't run your first hour will run you. And whatever runs you in the morning sets the tone for everything else. Let me give you a simple structure. I've used this, and I've taught this. 3 parts to your first hour. 1, stillness. Sit in silence. Reflect. Pray. Meditate. Let your spirit catch up with your body. 2, input. Read something positive, something inspiring, a good book, a philosophy, a goal you've written down. Let your mind be filled with fuel, not garbage. 3. Intention. Write down what you want to accomplish. Set your attitude. Visualize your success. Decide who you'll be today. That's it. Stillness. Input. Intention. Not complicated, but powerful. You do this every day. And guess what? Your life starts to shift because the day doesn't own you anymore. You own it. And that's where confidence comes from. That's where leadership comes from. That's where greatness begins. Not in the big speeches or big stages, but in that quiet first hour when nobody's watching, when it's just you and your decisions, when you either choose growth or stay the same. I'll say it again. Give your first hour to yourself before you give it to the world. And you'll start living a life that's no longer random, but intentional. Let me tell you something I learned a long time ago. If you don't protect your time, someone else will waste it for you. And the most dangerous time to lose is the first hour of your day. Now remember what we said. That first hour is sacred. It's your hour of power. It's when you build yourself before you build the day. But here's the problem. Distractions are always waiting at the door. Notifications, emails, social media, noise. And the worst part, most of it feels urgent, but very little of it is important. Big difference. Urgent things pull at your attention, but important things build your life. And if you don't know the difference, you'll end up spending your life putting out fires instead of lighting your own. So let me ask you a question. When was the last time you began your morning without touching your phone, without checking in, without responding, without scrolling? Tough question, isn't it? See, most people wake up and the first thing they do is hand over their attention. They check the weather. They check the headlines. They check the notifications. And right there in those first 5 minutes, they lose the battle for the day. Because the brain is now in reaction mode. And a reactive mind is not a powerful mind. So here's the philosophy I live by. Guard the gate. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. And the gate opens at the start of the day. So you must guard it like your life depends on it. Because guess what? It does. Now people ask me, Jim, how do I stop being distracted in the morning? Well, here's a few simple ideas, but don't mistake them for easy. They work if you work them. Number 1, no phone for the first 60 minutes. Sounds small, it's not. It's a discipline, a daily declaration. It says, I choose what enters my mind. I'm not a slave to noise. If 60 minutes is too much, start with 30. Then stretch it. But make it a rule, not a suggestion. Number 2, create a distraction-free zone. Your environment shapes your habits. So clear the clutter. Remove the triggers. Don't keep your phone on the nightstand. Put it across the room in a drawer or outside your bedroom. Out of sight, out of temptation. Number 3, let the world wait. You are not obligated to respond to the world the moment you wake up. Let me repeat that. You are not required to start your day with reaction. People will wait. Emails can wait. Emergencies are rare, but your peace is precious. And if the first hour is stolen by the world, the rest of the day, well, it's not really yours anymore. Let me give you a picture. Imagine you're filling a bucket with water, and every distraction is a hole poked in the side. The more holes, the faster it leaks. Now, what happens if you try to pour into others all day, but your bucket is empty? You burn out. You get anxious. You live reactive, not proactive. That's why you must seal the holes. Guard your first hour. Treat it like a meeting with yourself. And here's the deal. Don't be late. Don't cancel. Don't reschedule. Because the meeting you have with yourself is more important than any meeting you'll ever have with someone else. Let me give you one of my favorite philosophies. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And discipline starts the moment you open your eyes. Not when your boss calls. Not when your kids need something. But when you choose to say, this hour is mine. I will not give it away. I will not lose it to distraction. I will not allow interruption to shape who I become today. That one decision repeated every morning can change the entire trajectory of your life. Because the truth is, folks, The people who win in life are not more talented. They're not luckier. They're just more intentional with their time. So be intentional. Wake up, guard the gate, own your hour, and live your day on purpose. Let me ask you something. How do you start your day? Not how you wish you started, not how you used to start, but how do you really start your day? Because what you do in that first hour, it's not just routine, it's ritual. And your ritual either sets you up to win or it sets you up to wander. Now here's the truth. Most people don't have a ritual. They have habits they drift into. They roll out of bed, drag themselves to the bathroom, check their phone, scroll, swipe, snooze. They drift through the first hour in a fog, then wonder why their day never feels sharp, never feels focused, never feels purposeful. Let me tell you what I've learned. Your ritual is your anchor. And if you don't build your morning on purpose, you'll build it by accident. And no one ever built greatness by accident. Now let's break this down. What should a powerful morning ritual look like? What do you include and why? Let me give you a framework. You don't need to copy anyone else. You don't need to do 50 things before breakfast, but you do need to set the tone. Let's go through it slowly, thoughtfully. 1. Stillness before noise. Start your morning in silence. Yes, before music, before voices, before stimulation, choose stillness. Even 5-10 minutes of quiet reflection can reset your mind. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. No agenda, no rush, no devices. It's a way of saying, I am here, I am calm, I am ready, because life is noisy. And if you don't start with stillness, you'll spend the rest of the day catching your breath. 2, feed the mind read, learn, grow. Now the mind, it needs nutrients just like the body. Feed it something positive. Feed it something wise. Read 5 pages from a good book. Listen to a personal development audio. Write down a quote that inspires you. You don't need to consume everything. Just something that expands you. Because the quality of your input determines the power of your output. I used to say it like this. Miss a meal if you have to, but don't miss your reading. 3, move the body. Activate your energy. Next, get the blood moving. Doesn't need to be a full workout. Even 10 minutes of stretching, walking, light exercise. Why? Because your body is the vehicle for your mind. And when the body is sluggish, the brain is foggy. Move a little. Breathe a little deeper. Remind yourself that you're alive. Energy is not something you wait for. It's something you generate. So when you move, you tell your body, let's go. We've got something to accomplish today. 4, plan the day. Set your intentions. This is crucial. Too many people react to the day instead of leading it. So take 5 minutes to ask, what's my most important priority today? Write it down. Not 10 things, not your entire to-do list, just one thing that truly matters. And then ask yourself, what would make today a win? That one question forces clarity. It brings your day into focus. Don't start your day until you have it finished. Meaning, plan it first. Because a day without direction is like a ship without a rudder. It might float, but it won't go anywhere meaningful. 5, prime the spirit, gratitude, and purpose. Before you walk out that door, anchor yourself in why you're doing it. Gratitude isn't just for holidays. It's the fuel for joy, perspective, and peace. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Say them out loud. Feel them. It could be small, a warm bed, a healthy body, a second chance. This changes your state from scarcity to abundance, from worry to strength. And lastly, reconnect with your purpose. Say something like, today I live with purpose. Today I make progress. Today I give my best. Your words shape your world. Speak with intention. Now listen, don't turn your ritual into a burden. You don't need 2 hours. You don't need to be perfect. What you need is consistency. Even a 20-minute ritual done daily is powerful. More powerful than 2 hours, done once a week. And here's the secret. It's not what you do once in a while that changes your life. It's what you do every day. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And your morning ritual, that's your system for victory. So build it, refine it, guard it, and most of all, honor it. Because if you win the morning, you win the day. And if you win the day, you start to win your life. That first hour, it's not just how your day begins. It's how your life begins to take shape. Let me paint this for you because it's not theory. It's not just philosophy. It's the real blueprint of personal transformation. If you truly want to transform your life, if you want to rise above mediocrity and live with purpose, joy, and clarity, then you got to own your morning. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. And what's more fundamental than the first hour of your day? It's quiet. It's still. It hasn't been contaminated yet by emails, news, deadlines, people's problems, or society's demands. That first hour is yours. Yours to protect. Yours to shape. Yours to use wisely. Most people don't realize that how you spend that first hour is a mirror for how you live the rest of your life. If it's rushed, chaotic, reactive, so is your life. If it's intentional, calm, structured, so is your life. It's not magic. It's alignment. You see, you don't wake up one day with discipline like a gift from the sky. You earn it. You train it. And you begin that training the moment your eyes open in the morning. If you hit the snooze button, if you check your phone, if you lie in bed thinking about problems, you've already lost the first battle. But when you rise with purpose, no matter how small that purpose is, you're telling your mind, I'm in charge here. And the more you do that, the stronger you get. Your willpower increases. Your habits become your allies. Your identity begins to shift. You stop saying, I'm not a morning person, and you start becoming a purpose-driven person. Now, let's talk about the ripple effect, because this is where transformation lives. When you own that first hour, you don't just change your mornings, you change your outcomes. You eat better. You think clearer. You make better decisions. You procrastinate less. You become less reactive, more centered, more powerful. You walk into the day ahead, not behind. You respond to problems with calm and confidence instead of stress and emotion. One powerful hour leads to one productive day. One productive day leads to a powerful week, then a month, then a year. And soon, your entire life looks different. Not because you did something big, but because you did something consistently. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. That's what the first hour is, a discipline. You don't have to do everything. You don't need 20 habits. You just need the right few. Maybe you journal. Maybe you read a few pages of something that feeds your mind. Maybe you move your body. Maybe you visualize your goals. And over time, these small rituals start building the person you were always meant to be. You start believing again in yourself, your vision, your potential. You walk differently. You talk differently. People start noticing not just what you do, but who you've become. And it all began with that one sacred hour. Let me ask you this. What's the cost of not owning that hour? If you wake up late, you rush. If you skip preparation, you're scattered. If you begin with distractions, you end the day wondering where time went. It's the same 24 hours. The same world. The only difference is what you decided to do with your first hour. You either spend it building or you spend it reacting. And if you keep reacting long enough, guess what happens? You don't just lose time. You lose clarity. You lose momentum. You lose yourself. Now, there's something powerful that happens when you own your mornings. You begin to trust yourself. And self-trust, that's rare. That's the currency of greatness. You don't doubt whether you'll follow through. You know you will because you've proven it in the first hour of every day. You've kept your promise. You've honored your word. You've shown up, even when you didn't feel like it. That's the person the world starts to respect. That's the person you start to respect. And when you respect yourself, You no longer tolerate average. You stop settling. You start leading. So if your life feels stuck, if you feel like you're drifting, if you want to change your income, your health, your relationships, your mindset, don't start with the 10-year vision board. Start with tomorrow morning. Start with 1 hour. Make it your hour of power. Make it sacred. Make it yours. Because if you can own that hour, you can own your day. And if you can own your day, you can transform your life. You don't need more time. You need more intention. And that intention starts at sunrise. Let me ask you a simple question. What will you do tomorrow morning? That question might seem small, even ordinary. But I promise you it's the most important question you can ask yourself every single day. Because tomorrow morning is where your future begins. See, the decisions you make before the sun rises, they ripple through your entire day. They shape your mindset, your energy, your focus, and they quietly, steadily shape the course of your life. You don't have to wait for a new year, a new job, or a new opportunity. You don't have to wait for motivation to find you. You don't have to wait for the perfect conditions to start changing your life. Because transformation begins with one decision. And that decision happens every single morning. The decision to say, today I will own my first hour. Today I will start my day on purpose. Today I will take control of my time, my mind, and my life. When you make that decision, you step out of the crowd. You step away from the noise. You step into your own power. What if you started tomorrow differently? Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with intention, not rolling out of bed to chaos and distraction, but rising slowly, peacefully, taking a moment to breathe, to focus, to prepare. Imagine spending that first hour on what truly matters, reading something inspiring, something that feeds your mind, planning your day with clarity and purpose, moving your body to awaken your energy, setting your attitude and mindset for success, quietly reflecting on your goals and your why. That 1 hour becomes a daily ritual, a commitment, a promise to yourself. And the best part, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to start. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. And that's exactly what the first hour offers. A chance to consistently apply those fundamentals. Day after day, month after month, year after year. This is how small, steady actions create big results. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary. This is how your life changes. Not overnight, but over time. Here's the truth most people don't see. They let tomorrow slip away. They say, I'll start next week. I'll start on Monday. I'll start when I have more time. But tomorrow is a gift, and it's waiting for you. If you don't own your first hour tomorrow, tomorrow owns you. And the day after tomorrow, and the day after that, don't fall into that trap. Each morning is a fresh start, a clean slate, an opportunity to rewrite your story. No matter what happened yesterday, you get to start again. You get to make a new choice. And when you make that choice with conviction, you begin to build momentum. Momentum that carries you through challenges. Momentum that fuels your dreams. Momentum that makes change inevitable. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, before you sleep, decide what your first hour tomorrow will look like. Make a plan. Set a ritual. Protect that hour with everything you have. And when the alarm rings, rise up with purpose. Because when you give your first hour to yourself, you give your future a fighting chance. You step into a life of intention. You step into a life of growth. You step into a life where anything is possible. The path to success isn't a sprint. It's a journey. And every journey begins with a single step. Your first hour tomorrow is that step. Make it count. Own it fully. And watch how your life begins to change one morning at a time. As we close today, I want you to remember this simple truth. Your life is shaped by your daily rituals, by the small choices you make, especially in that very first hour. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up for yourself again and again. When you own your first hour, You take control of your day. You take control of your future. So start tomorrow differently. Start with intention. Start with purpose. And watch how, day by day, that 1 hour grows into a lifetime of success, growth, and fulfillment. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. Give yourself that first hour. Give yourself that chance, because you are worth it. Now go own your hour and own your life.